Have you ever noticed how we tend to think of healthy sleep and wellness as something that requires a complete life makeover? We tell ourselves that starting Monday we'll stop drinking caffeine after lunch and we'll exercise every day and meditate for 20 minutes and put away our phones at sunset and magically become one of those people who falls asleep the moment their head hits the pillow. It sounds great until life gets in the way. On today's episode, we're taking a look at the science of micro habits and how they can help us in ways we never realized before. I'm Jay, and this is Somnilopod. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you decided to join me today. We're actually going to be doing something a little bit different, something that I haven't done in the past with the podcast. You know, I've been frustrated with myself for years about how my motivation to start new, healthy, positive things in my life comes and goes so easily. So I started looking into the science of motivation and habit forming. I came across the work of Dr. B.J. Fogg, who is the founder of the Behavioral Design Lab at Stanford University. He invented the concept of micro habits, and that's taking a desired behavior and making it impossibly small. So small that it can be anchored to your daily routines easily, to the point that it doesn't require willpower or much motivation at all. And it got me thinking, how could I apply this to sleep and wellness in general and any of the myriad topics that we talk about? So I decided to start a series looking at it. And we're going to start with sleep. And we've all been there. You really want to start making all the changes you feel you need to make or to be a great sleeper. But then work runs late and the dog needs to go out and the kids call and you end up watching one more episode of your favorite show, and suddenly it's bedtime again. And I know it sounds familiar, you're in good company because it happens to all of us. And the good news is that improving your sleep doesn't usually require dramatic overhaul. That's why I like the idea of using micro habits in this case. Research in behavioral psychology suggests that they can help and they can make the transition to being a better sleeper much easier. Microhabit is exactly as it sounds. It's that tiny behavior that is so simple you can do it almost every day, even when you're tired and you're stressed and you're short of time. Instead of committing to a 30-minute meditation, you take 3 slow breaths before getting into bed. Instead of promising yourself an hour-long walk, you spend 2 minutes outside in the morning sunlight. Instead of redesigning your entire bedroom routine, you dim the lights 15 minutes before bed. These actions seem almost too small to matter, but that's precisely how they work. One of the biggest myths about behavior change is that motivation creates lasting success. Motivation certainly helps us get started, but it's unpredictable. Some days you feel inspired. Other days you simply are trying to make it through the afternoon. Sleep itself affects motivation. After a poor night's rest, the parts of the brain responsible for planning and self-control and decision-making don't work quite as effectively. That's one reason we're more likely to skip exercise, snack on sugary foods, and stay up too late scrolling on our phones after a rough day. If better sleep depends on motivation, and poor sleep reduces motivation, it's easy to see how people become trapped in that frustrating cycle. And that's where micro habits can help break that cycle. Because they're intentionally small, they don't demand much mental energy. They fit into real life instead of competing with it. And every time you repeat one, you're teaching your brain a new routine. The goal isn't perfection, it is consistency. Try Try thinking of sleep as a collection of small decisions made daily rather than a single event that begins when your head hits the pillow. Your morning light exposure affects your internal clock. The timing of your afternoon coffee influences how sleepy you'll feel that night. Whether you move your body during the day changes how much deep sleep you may get. How brightly your home is lit in the evening influences the release of melatonin. In other words, sleep begins long before bedtime, and that's why this series isn't about finding one magic solution. It's about discovering dozens of tiny habits that gently guide your brain and body toward better sleep. Over the next several months, we'll explore practical micro habits that take only a minute or two at the most, but can have surprisingly powerful effects when practiced consistently. We'll look at simple changes you can make in the morning, throughout the day, and during the hour before bed. None of them difficult, none require expensive gadgets, and most cost absolutely nothing. Will one small habit completely cure insomnia? Probably not. But dozens of habits repeated over months can create an environment where healthy sleep becomes much more likely. And that's the real promise of micro habits, not dramatic overnight transformation, but quiet, steady progress. And if there's one thing I've learned after decades of working in sleep medicine, it's that those quiet improvements are often the ones that last the longest. So today, don't worry about changing everything. Choose one habit. Maybe stop as you're walking to your car in the morning to go to work. And for a couple of minutes, just soak up a little bit of natural light. Maybe turn one of the lamps off in the room, in the living room or the bedroom, 15 minutes before bed tonight. Maybe you'll start putting your phone down 5 minutes earlier than usual. It may not seem like much, but every lasting habit and every better night's sleep begins with one small step. I hope you stay with us through this series. I'm going to try my very best to implement a lot of these because I feel like this research is very exciting, and it may not be new to you, but it is new to me. So I'm going to be making it a part of my life, and I hope you do as well. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at jay@somnilopod.com or touch base with me on YouTube or Facebook. And until we meet again, remember to make sleep a priority. Thank you so much.